Islam, 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 rising to my highest heights, giving all perfect praise to Allah, Father of creation, Creator of creation. Extending those high honors to all the great worthies who have come down the line of divine, mainly Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. And knowing something about these four Hebrew Muslims, we can talk to the entire planet, extending those honors to the man that we are here to discuss today, the illustrious Hebrew prophet, the honorable prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of this great organization, the Moorish Science Temple of Divine and National Movement Incorporated, North America. North America, all right? Great organization. But I would not know anything about the organization. I would not know anything about the man who founded the organization if it was not for the head of our government, a man in whom every day that goes by, I see more and more value in this man. Praise be to Allah. I speak of none other than the head of our government, our national grand sheikh, our national grand sheikh, Joel Bratton Bay, who resides in Baltimore, Maryland. Extending those high honors and greetings to the grand body that he works with on a daily basis to move our body politic and corporate onward and upward and hopefully into eventual perfection, the grand body, to all of the officers, the sheiks, the sheikesses, the deputy sheiks, the deputy sheikesses, okay, to all of our citizens, to all of our members, but most importantly, to our children, our future. We want to greet everyone with Islam, 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 peace, peace, peace. We want to greet those who may be watching this on social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc. We want to greet you with peace. Hopefully, you this demonstration you can find peace and contentment of mind by Allah's grace. And that's what we need. We need Allah's grace because we find ourselves in a mad, mad, mad world. And we are trying to skillfully navigate this madness. Anyway, today's demonstration will be a continuation of a demonstration that we did approximately a month ago. Part two, taxes. Part two, who are they for? What are they for? So if you have not watched that demonstration, please go watch that demonstration. Now, I know many of us are going to, you're going to do what you want to do anyway. So we're going to do a brief recap, just a brief recap on what we said in part one. We're going to do it in part two. Hopefully, we get some understanding. We're going to add a few items in. Hopefully, this does not take long. I do not have all day out here in the Arizona Republic to be demonstrating to you for hours and hours and hours. I really don't, because the information is pretty straightforward with the tangibility. And that's one thing I'm always going to do is try to provide the tangibility so you will not have the excuse of living in the valley of I didn't know. I didn't know. What it is you just afraid. That's what it is. Because I say it out my mouth, then you see it on the screen, and then once you see it on the screen and you hear it, you are now responsible for what you see and what you're hearing. And I'm finding that many of us refuse to enforce what we know to be correct. We default automatically back into the behavior that we had prior to meeting the illustrious Hebrew prophet Noble Drew Ali, prior to going through our school of law and history. It does you absolutely no good to go through the school of law and history, to graduate the school of law and history, get your paperwork, and leave it on the shelf. Graduate the school of law and history, sign your paperwork, put your paperwork on the record as you should do, but yet when you get into a controversy, then you revert right back to United States citizen behavior, federal citizenship behavior, 14th Amendment ship behavior, legal fiction behavior, corporate entity behavior, because you want some benefit, some set aside from the de facto government that you feel you can't get if you stand up on the policy of freedom. It's very sad, but it is also very real. It is sad, but it is real. Ultimately, brother and sister, I don't care what I say. I don't care what our National Grand Sheikh says. I don't care what our National Grand Body says. Ultimately, every tub must stand on its own bottom. I don't care what you're reading. It doesn't matter. If what you're reading, if what you believe does not cause you to get stronger and stronger and stronger, does not encourage you to enforce the policy of freedom, you are wasting your time. Wasting your time. This is for men and women who are desirous of actually being free. But there is something that men and women have to do to maintain freedom. This is not a democracy. This is a Republican form of government. And according to the free national constitution that Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us all to obey in the Moore Science Temple Divine Constitution and Bylaws, Act 5, he told us to obey the Constitution. But you can't obey what you don't know. You got to pick it up and read it and then go, how does this apply to me? How do I enforce this? What policy do I follow? What procedure do I do? So since many of us don't want to deal with policy and procedure, we revert right back to what is popular and convenient, thereby enslaving ourselves all over again. This is what we do. It's called a contract. We don't read said contract and be like, well, how does this apply to me? What am I actually giving up here? We don't do that. No, we get ourselves all entangled. Then we call Baltimore and we want National Grand Sheikh to give us a remedy. That's what's really happening. Help, 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 help me. They messing with me. They're not messing with you. You did it to yourself. But anyway, we're going to keep it moving. All right. So again, we're going to do a part 2 of taxes. This is not legal advice. This is not lawful advice. This is what I know. This is what I do. See how personal that is? Now, if you find some benefit in it, good for you. But I would advise you to look into the laws, statutory, common law, free national constitution, policy of freedom. You understand? I would advise you to personally look into this, study it, and then apply it to your situation. That's what I advise you to do. Now, if you don't want to take that advice, if you want to look at this demonstration and be like, well, Deputy Sheikh said do it like this. Deputy Sheikh is showing you what's in his situation, not necessarily your situation. Okay? See? Then, because I ain't the one getting all entangled up. They ain't messing with me. I wish they would. So we're going to kick it off today. And I don't do this too often, but we're going to kick it off today with some spiritual matters. Now, your screen should have changed. I hope it changed. I really do. Let me make sure that I'm still screen sharing over here. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure I'm screen sharing. Yep, I'm still screen sharing. All right, so this should work out great. Just had to double check because I don't want to go through all this and then it don't work. So you should be familiar with this. This is Circle 7, Chapter 10. Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. So we have several years. When you look at the King James Bible, the New Testament specifically, you know, the way Jesus is presented to us, you know, as people is he was born. I'm not getting into all the specifics. This is the general story. He was born. We see him at 12 disputing with the elders in the temple at 12. So we got born, then he's 12 years old, then he's crucified. What happened to all the in between? What happened to all the in between? Where did he go to school? What language did he speak? What did he study? What was his upbringing? They don't give you none of that. You just shrouded in mystery. But such is not the case, because everything you want to know, brother and sister, is in a book. If you can get your hands on the right book, then you can know what you know, provided that you apply the knowledge that's in the book. The book does you no good. It has absolutely no value if you're not going to apply the information in the book. So this is the Circle 7, Moorish Science of the Moors, Moorish Science. Chapter 10, Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Hindus. Oh, you mean Hindustan. You mean what is today called India. That place. Aha. They told us Jesus was in Palestine. I know. They ain't tell you everything about this man's life. But let's take it out. Let's check it out. Let's see what it's all about. And if I butcher these names, don't worry about it. Just get the concept. Benares is a sacred city of the brains. And in Benares, Jesus taught. Eudraka was his host. Eudraka made a feast in honor of his guests, and many high-born Hindu priests and scribes were there. And Jesus said to them, with much delight, I speak to you concerning life, the brotherhood of life. The universal Allah is one, yet he is more than one. All things are one. By the sweet breath of Allah, all life is bound in one. So if you touch a fiber of a living thing, you send a thrill from the center to the outer bounds of life. And when you crush beneath your foot the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in its sheath. The bird sings out its song for men, and men vibrate in unison to help it sing. The ant constructs her home, the bee its sheltering comb, the spider weaves her web, and flowers breathe to them a spirit in their sweet perfume that gives them strength to toil. Now, men and birds and beasts and creeping things are deities made flesh, and how dare men kill anything? It is cruelty that makes the world awry, when men have learned that when they harm a living thing, they harm themselves. They surely will not kill nor cause a thing that Allah has made to suffer pain. A lawyer said, I prayed to Jesus, tell who is this Allah you speak about? Where are his priests, his temples, and his shrines? And Jesus said, the Allah I speak about is everywhere. He cannot be compassed with walls, nor hedged about with bounds of any kind. All people worship Allah, the one, but all the people see him not alike. This universal Allah is wisdom, will, and love. All men see not the triune Allah. One sees him as Allah of might, another as Allah of thought, another as Allah of love. A man's ideal is his God. And so, as man unfolds, his God unfolds. Man's God today, tomorrow is not God. The nations of the earth see Allah from a different point of view. And so he does not seem the same to everyone. Man names the part of Allah he sees, and this to him is all of Allah. And every nation sees a part of Allah, and every nation has a name for Allah. You Brahmins call him Paramount. In Egypt, he is Thoth, and Zeus is his name in Greece. Jehovah is his Hebrew name, but everywhere he is the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things have grown. When men are afraid of Allah and take him for a foe, they dress up other men in fancy garbs and call them priests and charge them with to restrain the wrath of Allah by prayers, and when they fail to win his favor by their prayers, to buy him off with sacrifice of animals or birds. When man sees Allah as one with him, his Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede. He goes straight up to him and says, my Father God, Allah, and then he lays his hand in Allah's own hand, and all is well. And this is Allah. You are each one a priest just for yourself, and sacrifice of blood Allah does not want. Just give your life in sacrifice, sacrificial service to all of life, and Allah is pleased. Okay, when Jesus had thus said, he stood aside. The people were amazed, but strove amongst themselves. Some said he is inspired by Holy Bram, and others said he is insane, and others said he is obsessed. He speaks as devils speak. But Jesus tarried not. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker after truth, who loved the words that Jesus spoke. And Jesus went with him, and in his home abode. Now you say, what has that got to do with anything? Just hold on. Just hold on. The Holy Quran of Mecca says it like this. The Holy Quran of Mecca says it like this. Now, if you are Moorish American, the Holy Quran of Mecca is that which we gain our authority from. Let's see what Surah 109, chapter 109 says about the disbelievers. See, let's see what it says. Let's get it lined up here so everybody can see it. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, O disbelievers, I do not serve what you serve, nor do you serve him whom I serve. Notice that. Say, O believers, I do not serve what you serve, nor do you serve him whom I serve, nor shall I serve what you serve, nor do you serve him whom I serve. For you is your recompense, and for me, my recompense, meaning reward. So to you be your way and your reward, and to me be my way and my reward. Now, why are we taking the time to start today's demonstration with this? Because many of you are absolutely terrified, regardless of what is shown, regardless of what is said, you are still terrified of the United States government, de facto government, meaning fake. But yet you claim to be following Allah. This is what you claim. You say, well, I ain't no Muslim. That don't apply to me. Okay, then maybe you're a Christian. Maybe that's your faith tradition. Nothing wrong with that. But here we go. I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengtheneth me. Really? Then why is the de facto government on your back right now? Why are you afraid of men and women who represent that de facto, meaning fake entity that was put in the District of Columbia with the Organic Act of 1871? Why are you afraid of them right now? Why is it that if you believe you can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengtheneth me, why is it that you believe in Allah, but yet when you get into a controversy, you don't go to Allah? You default right back into slave behavior. Just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to put that out there. That's a question for you, not for me. You should be emboldened by what I'm saying, not shaking in your boots. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Taxes. What is this all about? Quick side note right here. Quick side note right here. Y'all see this? Things that are deemed treason in a republic are oftentimes legal in a democracy. Things that are deemed treason in a republic are oftentimes legal in a democracy. Republic, Article 4, Section 4 of the Free National Constitution says that all states shall be governed by a republican form of government. A republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for white. You got to check out some of my other demonstrations if you want to deal with that. Things that are deemed treason in a republic are oftentimes legal in a democracy. You see, what is a democracy? Huh? That's a question for you, not for me. That's what you claim to be up under right now. You are participating in a de facto government, meaning fake. It has the semblance of a government, but in reality, it's fake. And you are contracting with it right now. I got a treat for you today. I deliberately waited not to do my demonstration because it was something I needed to find, and I found it this morning. And I said, oh, we must get online. Because a lot of times I will say, go look up words in a Black Law Dictionary, and many of you will not do it for yourself. So I have a PDF file of a Black's Law Dictionary that I can magnify and shrink down, and I have it up on my screen. You're going to see it in a few minutes because it is necessary now when I demonstrate. Now I'm going to go into the Law Dictionary, and I'm actually going to show you what these words mean so that you will have no excuse whatsoever about saying, well, I didn't know. I couldn't afford a Black's Law Dictionary. I've never looked those words up. I've never seen it before. Nope, not going to have that excuse anymore. I am going to make this so plain for you. That way, when a law starts kicking off in your behind for your failure to enforce the policy of freedom that our ancestors literally fought, bled, and died for, that you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. According to the Holy Quran of Mecca, the occupants of heaven were looking at the occupants of hell. So apparently, if the two occupants, one in heaven, one in hell, obviously, if they're looking at each other, that means they are in close proximity to each other. How is this possible? Because heaven and hell are not places you go, they are conditions of life. Heaven and hell are not places you go, they are conditions of life. Sisters, hello to my Mobituses. Pay attention. Let me prove my point. When you don't have no money, what do you say? I'm broke as hell. Ain't that something? You live in the Arizona Republic, and today it will be 115 degrees ambient air temperature. And everybody in the city of Phoenix will tell you it's hot as hell. Conditions of life, not places you go. Broke as hell, hot as hell, cold as hell. Come on, sisters. That brother ugly as hell. Conditions of life, not places you go. Get out your feelings. You ain't going nowhere. When we put you in the ground, that's where you going to remain. And the essence of you, the energy that makes you you, that will return back to its source, which is Allah himself. But that body is going to be right there in the ground. It will return to the earth. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That is how the earth remains earth. 24,986 square miles of planet Earth. That's what it is. Let's keep it moving. Ain't nothing spooky about that. Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Islam, and it can be proven in any limit of time. This is what it's about. But if you spooky, because you believe Allah is up in the clouds somewhere and don't understand he's closer to you than your jugular vein, according to the Holy Quran of Mecca, then you out of order with that. So let's get the party started. I started it like this on my last demonstration. I'm starting it again so that we can have a refresher, so that we can understand exactly what has happened, why it has happened. This is Mr. James Traficant dealing with the U.S. bankruptcy speech. Okay. Now you see it says United States congressional record to the brother and sister that's out here on my platform talking about just because you typed it up, don't make it true. Guess what? We don't have no PowerPoints today. No PowerPoints today. We coming with the congressional records. You see, I'm going to put the actual records up here so that you understand, like, ain't no joke. You can go online right now and Google this. So if it's fraudulent, white folks made it fraudulent. You see? Because again, in your quote unquote comment is your absolute fear of your slave master. See? Information being presented to you, and you can say anything. Yep. Why you didn't go to white folks like that? Why you didn't make them prove what they telling you? They done indoctrinated you your whole life. You ain't said nothing to them. Hypocrite. But anyway, Mr. Speaker, we are here now in chapter 11. Members of Congress are official trustees presiding over the greatest reorganization of any bankrupt entity in world history, the U.S. government. Pay attention, United States citizens. We are setting forth, hopefully, a blueprint for our future. Ain't no future. There are some who say it is a coroner's report that will lead to our demise. And I am one of those who believe that and know that. It is an established fact that the United States federal government has been dissolved by the Emergency Banking Act, March the 9th, 1933. Now, let's put this in context. Government set up for the District of Columbia with the Organic Act of 1871. She's filing bankruptcy. The United States is filing bankruptcy in 1933. Prophet Noble Drew Ali just gets off the scene after his warning to the nations in 1928. You understand? I need you to lock in the time frame and what is actually going on. He warns the people they go bankrupt. He talks about a free national government. They say, no, we're setting up a democracy. I need you to lock in with what's actually happening. So this public law, 89-719, declared by President Roosevelt, being bankrupt and insolvent, House Joint Resolution 192, 73rd Congress, session, June the 5th, 1933, joint resolution to suspend the gold standard and abrogate the gold clause, dissolve the sovereign authority of the United States and the official capacities of all United States governmental officers and departments, and is further evidence that the United States federal government exists today in name only. But when I tell you this, you're losing your mind. What? I ain't never heard that before. Now, listen to Great White Fall. Take me out of it. Listen to Great White Fall. The receivers of the United States bankruptcy are the international bankers via the United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund. That would be the IMF. All United States offices, officials, and departments are now operating within a de facto status, fake status, in name only, under the emergency war powers. With the constitutional Republican form of government now dissolved, the receivers of the bankruptcy have adopted a new form of government for the United States. That would be a democracy. That's what that would be. So they're telling you we went from a republic and now we're into a democracy with the Organic Act of 1871 establishing a government for the District of Columbia. They are literally telling you this. This new form of government is known as a democracy. Now, the republic is still in place. How do you know that? Because Prophet Noble Drew Ali, through the Revised Herd Statutes, established a free national government. August the 1st, 1928 at 2:52 p.m. Take it or leave it. I ain't got time to get into all of that again. Watch my other demonstrations. Being an established socialist communist order under new governor for America. This act was instituted and established by transferring and or placing the office of the Secretary of Treasury to that of the governor of the International Monetary Fund. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Gold and silver, and now we come into my subject. Gold and silver was such a powerful money during the founding of the United States of America. Now, I need you to notice how that is written. That is written grammatically correct. The United States being lowercase of denotes possession, America. That the founding fathers declared that only gold or silver coins can be money in America. Since gold and silver coinage were heavy and inconvenient for a lot of transactions, they were stored in banks, and a claim check was issued as a money substitute. People traded their coupons as money or currency. Currency is not money. Currency is not money, but a money substitute. Redeemable currency must promise to pay a dollar equivalent in gold or silver money. Gold or silver money. Federal Reserve notes make no such promises and are not money. Look, take a dollar bill out of your pocket and read it. It says nothing to the effect of paying the bearer on demand $1 in gold $1 in silver. It says no such thing. It says that it is legal tender. Legal tender. A Federal Reserve note, and that's exactly what it says on it. A Federal Reserve note is a debt obligation of the federal United States government, not money. The federal United States government and the U.S. Congress were not and have never been authorized by the Constitution for the United States of America, written, grammatically correct, to issue currency of any kind, but only lawful money, gold, and silver coin. I need you to get that. I need you to lock in with me. I need you to understand this. Gold and silver is money, paper, currency, $1 bills, $5 bills, $50 bills, $100 bills, stacks. Currency has no intrinsic value at all. It is paper with pretty green writing on it. And the only reason it's working is because of the faith and credit that the people assign to it. But once the people lose confidence in the paper, as they are fastly doing, where do you go from there? We're going to be right back to gold and silver. But you was never taught or educated on real money. So you're walking around with a bunch of paper. So what happens when that can no longer get you goods and services? Now you just have worthless, pretty green paper in your pocket. Now what? What do you do then? Because you still gonna be here. You still gonna have to transact business. What do you do then? Where do you go? Let's continue. Oh, I'm gonna be on you today, and I'm gonna be on you rather quick. I'm not gonna waste my time. So this is the United States Corporation Company. This was established. This is the corporate entity and the government that was established in the District of Columbia with the Organic Act of 1871. You see, it says United States Corporation Company. This is where the U.S. citizen resides. This is where the 14th Amendment resides. Even though it was ruled unconstitutional, October 1883, October the 15th, 1883 to be precise. It was ruled unconstitutional in a landmark decision, 109 U.S. 3, ruling the 13th Amendment with two sections, 14th and 15th Amendments, unconstitutional. Your 13th Amendment, they say, cancel involuntary servitude. That's what they say. That's what they teach you. 14th Amendment gives you your quote unquote citizenship. That's what they teach you. The 15th Amendment gives you your quote unquote voting rights. That's what they teach you. You see? But if the Supreme Court said October the 15th, 1883, that the 13th, 2, 14th, and 15th Amendments were void, 3 dead badges of law, ruled unconstitutional, well, what kind of citizenship do you have then? Are you free or are you still under some kind of servitude situation? Huh? Riddle me that. Do you really have voting? Are you a citizen? Can you vote in the true sense of the word? Or does the president of the United States have to pass a voting rights act every 20 to 25 years so that the slaves, the people who are clinging to names and principles that delude to slavery, that they can vote and participate in a de facto governmental situation? You just pulling levers like you do in Las Vegas with the hopes of winning. Just pull the lever. Ching, ching, ding, 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 ding. I didn't win. Pull a lever again. Ding, 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 ding. And you paying money to do it. But because the drinks and the food are coming on a regular basis, you had a good time. What you're essentially telling me is you lost your money and love it. You had a good time. I have not met one person that went to Las Vegas on the strip, came back and said it was a horrible experience. It was just horrible. I hated it. I'm never going again. No, you love it. You love participating in the madness. You lost your money and loved it. Brother and sister, if I lose $5 in my house, I am tearing up this entire house until I find that $5. You may have had that experience yourself. Lose some money in the car, in the cushions on the car, in your car, and watch what happens. You moving seats, you vacuuming, you doing all kind of stuff. Gotta find it. I gotta find it. I know I had it. I gotta find it. Here, these demons set up a city to make you lose your money and love it. It's magic. They set up a corporation called the United States. I know you, brother, please. I don't get it. I know you don't get it. Two different and distinct nations. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. This is the United States Supreme Court. I just told you. The United States Supreme Court ruled the 13th Amendment with two sections, 14th and 15th Amendments unconstitutional, October the 15th, 1877. I just told you this. See? The ideal prevails with some. Indeed, it has expression in arguments at the bar that we have in this country substantially two national governments. What? Oh, so it is two of them. Oh, so it is two. This is what the Supreme Court said. Two national governments, one to be maintained under the Constitution. That would be the free national Constitution that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is talking about. That would be the free national government that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is talking about, that he established, again, October the 1st, 1928, Body Politic Incorporated. You understand? With all of its restrictions, the other to be maintained by Congress outside and independently of that instrument. I need you to get it. The one that's being maintained by Congress is where all the US citizens are right now, where all the people who have their citizenship through the 14th Amendment right now. Those people who are clinging to names and principles that delude to slavery, they're there right now. The legal fictions, the corporate entities, all of these individuals, no matter what label they putting on it, you are up under the Constitution that Congress is maintaining right now. We're gonna keep it moving. I ain't got all day for you. I know you like, oh, I don't understand. I know it's gonna become real plain in a minute. Hold on, let me get back to what I'm doing. Hold on. So now, I talked about this in my last demonstration, and I'm gonna go right back to it, but I'm gonna add another document to the mix. I talked about this. We're gonna deal with the IRS here in just a minute. Now, I talked about this. Y'all remember this from last demonstration? See what that says? Non-voluntary agreement of IRS form W-4 status. Okay, just to let you know, this is an affidavit that comes from our organization. Just to let you know. Now, if we were not in fact a government communicating with another government, why would they accept our affidavit to be true? If what was typed on this affidavit was in fact fake, why would the IRS accept it? That's a question for you, not for me. Here we go. For the purpose of this affidavit, the term United States means only the federal legislative democracy of the District of Columbia. Is that not what I just said? Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and any other territory within the United States, which entity has its origins from the Organic Act of 1871, being the new government that was placed in the District of Columbia, or the district. The term United States is not to be construed to mean or include the 48 Union State Republics, which is the U period, S period, A period, United States of America. There is a difference between the United States of America and the United States. Please believe. The United States of America is a republic. The United States is a corporate entity. The United States of America is a republic. Article 4, Section 4, all states shall be governed by a republican form of government according to the Free National Constitution, which is the first 7 articles of the Free National Constitution, or the original Constitution. Okay. And the United States has a constitution being maintained by Congress, okay, which says the United States is of America. See, it's of, it ain't for. But anyway, getting into it. Now, let's keep it moving. Let's go down here. I ain't got all day. Neither born or naturalized in the United States nor subject to its jurisdiction. Okay, where do you see that verbiage? You see that verbiage in the 14th Amendment. You see that verbiage in the lawful definition of federal citizenship. Neither born or naturalized in the United States nor subject to its jurisdiction, the affiant is not, as described in 26 CFR 1.1-1C and the 14th Amendment, a United States citizen. Because you done drunk the Kool-Aid. You want to be a United States citizen. Do you? Do you really want to be a United States citizen? What does it mean? The affiant / employee is a citizen of the U period, S period, A period, United States of America, or a U.S. citizen, capital C, not small c. Small c means you're under the District of Columbia. Capital C means you are under the Free National Constitution. Please know the difference, which described in Article 4, Section 2 of the Constitution for the U period, S period, A period, and therefore the affiant is an alien with respect to the United States. See 109 U.S. 3, 1883. I said 1871 back there with the Organic Act of 1871. You have 109 U.S. 3 in October the 15th, 1883. The Supreme Court declared the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment void and unconstitutional. Now, Internal Revenue Code, Title 26, Chapter 1, Part 31, Section 3402, page 1. Brother and sister, if this was in fact crazy, do you understand right now you are reading the Internal Revenue Code? This is the same code that the de facto government is going by. Internal Revenue Code, Title 26, Chapter 1, Part 31, Section 3402, page 1. 26 CFR 31.3402, page 1, provides that the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, Form W-4, is a voluntary withholding agreement between an employer and employee. There is no law requiring a worker or employee to complete IRS Form W-4. You say, but that's y'all affidavit. That's y'all affidavit. Section 31.3402, page 1, voluntary withholding agreements. In general, an employee and his employer may enter into an agreement under Section 3204B to provide for the withholding of income tax upon payments of amounts described in paragraph B1 of Section 31.3401A3 made after December the 31st, 1970, and stop. But I can hear some of y'all now. That's what y'all say. That's y'all affidavit. Y'all type that up. Even though it says on your screen, Internal Revenue Code, Title 26, Chapter 1, Part 31, Section 3402, Page 1. Even though it says it on your screen, you still don't believe it because you said, that's what y'all say. Y'all type that up. That's what you're thinking right now. I know. I know. I got you. I got you. Who is this? Who is this? Whose paperwork is this? Come on. Let me hear you. Let me hear you. Did I type this up? No, I went online and pulled this down from the United States Treasury. Oh, the de facto United States Treasury. This is their document. See what it says? W4T, voluntary withholding agreement. Look what it says underneath. Termination or withdrawal from W4 agreement. Say what? Say what? You mean to tell me that the same white folks that is taking your money actually have a form that they can voluntarily withdraw from? Look what it says. Voluntary withholding agreement, 26 CFR section 31.3402, page 1. Section, wait, Title 20, Chapter 1, Part 31, Section 3402, page 1. Really? Really? You put your little name right there, put your little name, put your little address, put your little employee identification number, submit it for in lieu of W4 employees withholding certificate. Employer will not make any payroll withholding. Employee is responsible for all taxes. Okay. Termination of previous W4 agreement beginning effective on the last day of pay period in, etc., etc. Not my document. Not our document. Let's see. Employees liability release statement. I, put your name there. Understand that termination or withdrawal of a W4 employee's withholding certificate releases the employer from any obligation to make payroll withholdings. Furthermore, I understand that I am responsible for all taxes due, and I release the employer from any tax liability associated with this employee. Why is this important? Because the IRS and your employer have the agreement. You, as an employee, have no contractual agreement with the IRS until you contract with them by filling out a W-4. I'm going to say that again. Your employer and the IRS are the only two entities that have a contractual agreement. You, as an employee, do not have a contractual agreement unless and until you complete a Form W-4. And if that was not the case, then why do they have a W-4T that you can terminate the W-4 agreement? You're moving, and then you have your employees' information, Put your first name, middle initial, last name, social security number, write none if you do not have a social security, or decline if you do not wish to provide it. See, voluntary. There's no law requiring you to put your social security number on anything. Hello? But if you don't read the document, you don't know this. You just filling out stuff. That's why they got stuff in real small print. But when you want benefits and set-asides because you done went through the School of Law and History, because you done got a title of Sheik and Sheik-S, Deputy Sheik and Deputy Sheik-S, but you don't believe in the policy of freedom because all you did was come to the Moorish experience and listen to me run my mouth, and you didn't internalize the principles and the lawful process. Now you scared to death to stand up on what you know. And this is why you have to call National Grand Sheik every time you get into a controversy, because you can't stand up and demonstrate the paperwork that's in your hand. Yep, I said it. Now the question is, if you don't like what I say, what you gonna do about it? Because 99% of you, I will out demonstrate you in my sleep. You know it and I know it. I'm sitting here connecting the dots, rolling with the documentation that you already got in your hand. I ain't showing you nothing that you don't already know. I ain't showing you nothing that you ain't already seen. I ain't showing you nothing that ain't already been discussed in our town hall, in our Sunday school, in our members forum. Nothing in our School of Law and History. All of it has been discussed. Why is it that you are afraid to death in 2023? And as Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, not me, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, you are afraid of the man that is afraid of me. So how can you be following the illustrious Hebrew prophet and the de facto government ain't afraid of you? How is that possible? There it is, the IRS tax code on the same document right there. Section 31.3402, page 1, voluntary withholding agreement. Now you saw this same verbiage on our affidavit. Termination of W-4. You didn't believe it, right? That's what we typed up. Well, check it out. Look where it came from. In general, an employee and his employer may enter into an agreement under Section 3402B to provide for the following, for the withholding of income tax upon payments of amounts described in paragraph B1 of Section 31.3401A3 made after December 31st, 1970. That, you notice that date keeps coming up. I'm gonna deal with it in just a minute. And you see also the word income tax keeps coming up. The Internal Revenue Service says you must pay taxes on your income tax. See, let's go right up here. Hold on. Voluntary withholding agreement. See, what is this all about? Income tax. See, this is at the federal level, District of Columbia. Here, affidavit, same verbiage. Wait a minute, we're gonna do something new today. I said we're gonna do something new today. Let's go over here. Let's try this on for size. I can hear some of y'all now. Brother. See, that's the federal level. Well, let's deal with the state level. You see, this ain't my form either. Arizona Form A4. Employers' instruction for the employees, Arizona withholding election. See, but once again, if you took the instruction sheet and threw it in the trash and started just filling stuff out, you are now enslaving yourself. But had you just read the state form, you would see what it says. Now, I want you to see the trick. We're going to show you the trick. Arizona employers are required to make Arizona Form A4 available to employees at all times and to inform them of Arizona's withholding election options. So we got options. It didn't say mandatory elections, it said election options. Arizona income tax. Now, hear this word come again. Arizona income tax withholding is a percentage of gross taxable wages. Gross taxable wages is the amount that meets the federal definition of wages. Now, which one are we being paid, brother and sister? Are we being paid income or are we being paid wages? Are we being paid income or are we being paid a wage? So now we have to define our terms. We can't keep talking about income. We can't keep talking about wages and we don't define our terms. So now, since these are lawful and legal terms, now we have to go consult with a Black's Law Dictionary. So I decided to pull up Black's Law Dictionary for you, since many of us, you don't have a Black's Law Dictionary. So I have to do it for you. That way you will not have the excuse of what I didn't know. See, we're not going to live in I didn't know today. Okay, so now looking at Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition, let's look at the definition, the lawful definition of income. Because remember, if that's what the claim to fame seems to be for the IRS, you understand? For the IRS, they keep talking about income. They talk about income over here. They're talking about income over here. See? In all their instructions, they keep talking about income. And before I go to the lawful definition, let me go here. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Because you hear us putting an argument together to deal with paying of income tax or not paying income tax. So I thought it would be great. I thought it would be a great idea to go to the IRS website, go to their official website. Let's see what they say about themselves. Now, we're showing you their documentation. We're showing you the forms that you can fill out. Forms to enslave yourself, W-4. Forms to free yourself, W-4T. We're showing you this. Non-resident alien tax affidavit from our organization. I'm giving it to you many different ways so that you'll understand, but I like to go with Great White Father. Great White Father. IRS. This is the, so y'all understand, this is the Internal Revenue website. This is not me. Look on their website. Look at what they got printed on their website. I love this stuff. The truth about frivolous arguments. Frivolous. This is how they getting ready to come at you when you talk about, well, your form said voluntary. Your form said voluntary. Look, they put their argument in the public. You should have never gave me your argument. Not that I need it. Not that I even need it, because I understand how to maneuver. But here you go. Let me read it. I know I can't, unfortunately, I cannot magnify it. I wish I could. So I'm going to read it to you. Contention. Now, this is talking about the voluntary nature of the federal income tax system. That's what we're talking about, right? The federal income tax. Notice what it says. I need you to lock in with what it actually says in black and white. It says the voluntary nature of the federal income tax. The contention, the filing of a tax return is voluntary. So they tired of people telling them that on their document that we just saw that it says is voluntary. Hold on. They say it's frivolous. This is what they say. They say it's frivolous. This is what they say. So if that's frivolous, that means this is frivolous. This is their Internal Revenue Code. That means this is frivolous. This is their voluntary withholding agreement. Hold on. So this is frivolous, voluntary withholding agreement. Frivolous. This is what they say. I'm just saying. This is their documents, not mine. Okay. Okay, now hold on. We're going to get back to it. Because I like to give credit where credit is due. See? Because I'm gonna do it both ways. We're going to go for and against. And then we're going to see what makes sense. Contention, the filing of a tax return is voluntary. Some taxpayers assert that they are not required to file federal tax returns because the filing of a tax return is voluntary. Stop right there. Stop right there. Hold on. That's okay. We're gonna deal with it. Hold on, let me get back to it right here. Okay, so let me come again. Some taxpayers assert that they are not required to file a federal tax return because the filing of a tax return is voluntary. In general, an employee and his employer may enter into an agreement under Section 3402 to provide for the withholding of income tax upon payments of amounts described in paragraph B1 of Section 31.3401A3 made after December 31st, 1970. Section 31.3402, page 1, voluntary withholding agreement, IRS tax code. No problem. Let's get back to their argument on their website. Some taxpayers assert that they are not required to file federal tax returns because the filing of a tax return is voluntary. Proponents of this contention point to the fact that the IRS tells taxpayers in the Form 1040 instruction book that the tax system is voluntary. So they admit that they said it's voluntary. Additionally, these taxpayers frequently quote Flora versus United States. This is a court case for the proposition that our system of taxation is based upon voluntary assessment and payment, not upon distraint. Now, here's the issue. Here's the issue. You notice nowhere on their website is the case. Where is the case? Where is the actual case so that you can read it for yourself? They give you snippets of it. See, they give you a snippet so you can't get the context. Watch how I get down. Watch how I get down. Now, this is what they say the law is. They got, see what it says? The law. The word, look, they put voluntary in quotes. The word voluntary as used in Flora and the IRS public in IRS publication refers to our system of allowing taxpayers initially to determine the correct amount of tax and complete the appropriate returns rather than have the government determine tax for them from the outset. The requirement to file an income tax return is not voluntary and is clearly set forth in Section 6011A, 6012A, 6072 of the Internal Revenue Code. You see how this goes? Now you confused, right? Now you confused, right? First they said it was voluntary, then they say it's not voluntary, then they said the law says that no, according to this court case, it's not voluntary. First you said, now you're trying to define what the word voluntary means. They said, no, you have the option to select how much tax is going to be held. You don't want the government to do it for you. Now, you can get wrapped up in a little argument all you want. I'm not going to get wrapped up in the argument. You know why I'm not going to get wrapped up in the argument? You know why I'm not going to get wrapped up in the argument? Because what does it say? The contention is the filing of a tax return is voluntary, black and white. It's an income tax, right? That's what it says. Let's agree on facts. Income tax. Nobody disagrees. It's an income tax. You see? Okay. Now, let's deal with it. So, since we're filing these income tax returns, hold on, just in case you thought I'm lying. Okay, let's go back to it. Boom. Internal Revenue Code. Okay. Voluntary withholding agreement. Okay. You got it there. You have it here. Okay. I'm going to keep it fresh. I'm going to keep it fresh in your mind. I'm going to keep it fresh in your mind. You have it here. Okay. Now, let's get back at it. Now, let's go way over here. Now, watch this. Let's go here. You're going to love this. Lawful definition. The return income. Hold on. Income. This is what they say you're supposed to file this tax return. Income taxes. This is what they say. Hold on. Let's go back over here. Boom. Income tax. See? Taxpayers. Taxpayers. Let's go back. I'm going to do this all day. This is going to be so silly in just a minute. The return in money from one's business, labor, or capital invested. Capital is money. So let's read it again. The return in money from one's business, labor, or money invested, gains, profits, salary, wages, etc. Don't stop right there. Read the rest of it. The gain derived from capital. Really? Did you sell some real estate? Were you required to file a capital gain, pay a capital gains tax because you sold some investments, you sold some stocks, you sold some bonds, you sold some silver, you sold some gold, you sold some platinum, you sold an oil well, huh? You sold some land, because that's the only way you're going to get capital gains. That's the only way you're going to get an income. Income is not wages, but don't take my word for it. We're going to look it up. Don't take my word for it. We're going to look it up. It's going to become very evident in just a minute. You're going to see. Let's keep it moving. Income, the return in money. First of all, you ain't getting paid in money. You're getting paid in currency. But anyway, the return in money from one's business. Do you have a business? When you punch in a time clock, aren't you working for somebody else? That ain't your business, is it? It says the return in money from one's business. That's personal. Labor, mean your labor, or capital invested. Gains, profits, salaries, wages, etc. The gain derived from capital, from labor or effort, or both combined, including profit. Notice this keeps coming up. Profit or gain through sale or conversion of capital. Have you sold anything? What's a conversion of capital? Income is not a gain occurring to capital or a growth in the value of the investment. Are we talking about investments when you go to work? When you're being compensated, is that talking about an investment? But is a gain, a profit, something of exchangeable value? So what value did you get? Where's the exchangeable value when you went to work for somebody else? Proceeding from the property. This ain't what? This is talking about property. What? Huh? What? Severed from the capital, however invested or employed, and coming in, being derived, that is received or drawn by the recipient for his separate use, benefit, and disposal. What? What? Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Income. Now you filing an income tax. You're being taxed on income. Where in this did I talk about your job? Where? Where? But see, on their website, they ain't gonna put that lawful definition up there, because then you'll understand this don't even apply to you. This don't even apply to you unless you got a business. Huh? Are you getting it? Unless you have a business, which is a corporation. Those individuals, those corporate businesses are required to file a federal income tax return, not human beings. But what they did through the 14th Amendment was they turned everybody into a corporation. That's how they getting you. Do you see the importance of the illustrious Hebrew prophet now? Do you see the importance of proclaiming your nationality and taking the paperwork that you get from our government and putting it on the record? Do you see the importance of it now? Let's continue. I don't want to leave them alone in a silly argument. They say this is in the Florida case. Okay, fine. Fine. But you didn't define the lawful definition. No, you did not. You left that off your web page. So I had to go get a law dictionary so everybody could see it. Let's go down here to wages. Let's see the difference. Let's see the difference. Let's see the difference. Because we want to be fair. I ain't going to cherry pick everything like they doing. We're going to get right to it. And it's going to become very evident as to what we're doing and why we're doing it. Now, let's see. So we're filing a federal income tax. Now let's go after the lawful definition of wages. Here it is, right here. See what it says? A compensation given to a hired person for his or her services. What? A compensation. Free National Constitution. United States Supreme Court. Rules. 13th Amendment with 2 sections. 14th and 15th Amendments. Unconstitutional. Void. Unconstitutional. Invalid. Wrong. Why? Because in the 14th Amendment, Section 4 specifically denies the right of compensation of property. In the 5th Amendment is required by the 5th Amendment of the Free National Constitution. So the Supreme Court says, nope, unconstitutional, struck it out. Wages, a compensation given to a hired person for his or her services. People working on a job. Compensation of employees based on time worked or output of production. Hello? You're not being taxed on your wages. This is talking about an income tax. Mr. IRS, Mr. IRS, hello. You see why they use the word voluntary? Now, if you are dumb and you don't want to look these terms up for yourself, then you will voluntarily enslave yourself. You will think that you are being paid income when in fact you are being paid wages. Don't take my word for it. Wages, a compensation paycheck given to a hired person for his or her services. Compensation of employees, that is what you are, based on time work. Don't you work 40 hours a week if you're working full time? Don't you work 30 hours or less if you're working part time? Compensation of employees based on time worked or output or production. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you, this is in black and white. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? So if you want to continue to pay income tax because you are afraid of the Internal Revenue Service, because you feel like, well, if I don't pay my taxes, then they're going to come after me. Well, they're coming after you because you're a U.S. citizen. That's why they're coming after you. They're coming after you because you said your citizenship is based on the 14th Amendment. That's what you said. That's why they're coming after you. Hold on. I'm going to curl your socks. I'm going to curl your socks. Now I'm going to talk to these people in our organization. Now, I keep dealing with our non-resident alien court order, and I keep dealing with Section 8. First of all, let's go up here and see that it is, in fact, our non-resident alien court order issued by our common law court. Let's be clear. Let's start with truth. Morris Supreme Court of Equity and Truth. See? Now, you see what that says? Order recognizing Moorish Americans, got an S on it, as non-resident alien individuals, got an S on it. Non-resident alien means you're outside of the jurisdiction of the IRS, outside of the jurisdiction of the United States, outside of the jurisdiction of the IMF, outside of the jurisdiction of the World Bank, outside of the jurisdiction of the Federal Reserve. How many different ways you want me to say it? See? But if you don't believe that, you got this court order in your hand, got the court order on the record. But when it's time to deal with your personal affairs, you do not bring the court order out. You don't bring the court order up. You don't demonstrate as a non-resident alien because you want benefits and set-asides from the de facto government that is sitting in the District of Columbia and all of her state agencies in the state that you reside. You want benefits and set-asides because you don't know how to properly demonstrate our position as non-resident aliens. Then all of a sudden you contract right back under the United States. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Don't argue. Don't argue, and don't say anything about me to our National Grand Chief, because I literally will go in my next demonstration and call you out by name, which would be extremely embarrassing for many of you. I am done playing to your ignorance. I will literally call you out. The whole world will know. And our membership is going to be like, is what Deputy Chief saying true? You can say, no, it ain't true. It ain't this. Remember, I'm the tangibility guy. You do not want me to put things on the screen with your signature on it. And you go, he ain't got nothing on me. Don't test me. Don't do it. You'll find out in a it'll get very uncomfortable for you very quickly. Leave me alone. That'd be your best bet. Now, order recognizing Moorish Americans as non-resident alien individuals. So now everybody knows I like to come down here to section 8. The intent of this order is to clarify the foreign status of Moorish American citizens who are domiciled within the American landmass, that would be North, South, and Central, and the surrounding islands, and not within the United States, which is the corporate entity that was put in the District of Columbia with the Organic Act of 1871. Okay? The Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America, Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American National Republic, is a foreign entity with the right to self-autonomy as an indigenous tribal nation according to the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. As Moorish American nationals, Moors are not U.S. citizens. Moorish Americans are American citizens, which is not to be confused with the corporate and artificial U.S. citizen. The United States is a corporation, and with that being said, Moors are not U.S. citizens, employees of and for the United States Corporation. Now, many of you have seen me do this time and time again. Okay, but there's more to the court order. Now, let's go down here. Points 7 through 11 of this order demonstrate that Moorish Americans are foreign to the United States. Therefore, this court orders the United States via its above named agencies, Social Security Administration, the United Nations, the IRS, etc., okay, to change the status of Moorish American Thomas Muhammad Eel. Now it is very specific. From U.S. citizen to non-resident alien individual. So you see the power in our court order. The IRS is authorized per 26 CFR 301.6109 identifying number to change the status of the Social Security number U.S. citizen upon evidence of foreign status of the applicant. You see why it's important to put your paperwork on the record. You see why it is important to follow the lawful process that I demonstrated in the paperwork process on the YouTube page, The Moorish Experience. According to 26 CFR 301.6109, identifying number. A Social Security number is generally identified in the records and database of the Internal Revenue Service as a number belonging to a U.S. citizen or resident alien individual. A person may establish a different status for the number, providing proof of foreign status with the Internal Revenue Service under such procedures as the Internal Revenue Service shall prescribe, including the use of a form as the Internal Revenue Service may specify. Upon accepting an individual as a non-resident alien individual, the Internal Revenue Service will assign this status to the individual's Social Security number. And for y'all to think we getting away with something, Moorish American Thomas Muhammad Eel is authorized to use this court under court order to get a certificate of non-citizenship nationality in accordance with what? Title 8 United States Code, Section 1452. B. from the United States Passport Agency so that public officials can better identify we, the people, from corporate U.S. persons / U.S. citizens within the jurisdiction of the United States. The U.S. Passport Agency is ordered to give all Moorish Americans whom apply a certificate of non-citizenship nationality. We can do this all day long. Now, you heard us talking about, let me get to this one. Let me get at it. Let me get at it. Now, to my recollection, I could be wrong, but I have a National Grand Sheik. Upon hearing these words, I promise you, if they're incorrect, he will ring my mobile. I promise you. But I don't think I'm going to get that phone call because we're reading directly from the warning, which you can go to the Moorish American National Republic.com website and purchase for yourself. This is the warning of 1920 and 8. Prophet Noble Drew Ali talking. You who doubt whether I, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those that know law in the city hall and amongst the officials in your government and ask them under intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply, for they are glad to see me, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, bring you out of the darkness into light. Money doesn't make the man. It is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments, gold, silver, and commerce belongs to the citizens alone, and without your national citizenship, by name and principle, you have no true wealth. Let's come at that again. Money doesn't make the man. Money doesn't make the man. Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not use the word currency. He said money. Then he qualified the aforementioned statement with a follow-up statement. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver, and commerce belong to the citizens alone, and without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth. So now, what is this all about? Prophet Noble Drew Ali mentions gold and silver. Now, it was mentioned back here also in the bankruptcy of the United States. Let me deal with it. Let me get back to it. Let me find it. Hold on. I got to get to it. Is this it? Yep. See what it says on your screen? Gold and silver was such a powerful money during the founding of the United States of America that the founding fathers declared that only gold or silver coins can be money in America. Since gold and silver coinage were heavy and inconvenient for a lot of transactions, they were stored in banks, and a claim check was issued as a money substitute. People traded their coupons as money or currency. Currency is not money, but a money substitute. Redeemable currency must promise to pay a dollar equivalent in gold or silver money. Federal Reserve notes make no such promise and are not money. Take a dollar bill, a $5 bill, a $50 bill, a $100 bill, a $1 bill. Take it out of your pocket and read it. It says Federal Reserve note. It says legal tender. It is not backed by anything. There is no intrinsic value associated with it. Gold and silver were such a powerful money during the founding of the United States of America that the founding fathers declared that only gold or silver coins can be money. Only gold and silver. You say, I've never read that. I've never read that. I don't understand. But since I'm on this page, I don't want to get off of it. See what it says? Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the Free National Constitution that Prophet Noble Drew Ali told you to obey. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, mean divided equally. You know the taxes ain't divided equally amongst the states. Stop it. Therefore, they are unconstitutional. Keep it moving. We'll just keep it moving. We'll just keep it moving. Just read the Free National Constitution for yourself. I'm coming to my point, but I don't want to leave these points alone since I'm on it. Hold on. Whoa, because I don't want you to misunderstand. I don't want you to misunderstand. Hold on, let me get it for you. Let me get it for you. Let me get it for you. To the brother and sister out here causing all this havoc, talking about, man, you made a PowerPoint. Just because you type it up in a PowerPoint don't make it true. How about the congressional record? Does that work for you? Does that work for you? The congressional record. See what it says at the very top? United States of America. Don't say the United States. Say the United States of America. Now, this is the de facto congressional record. Hold on. Let me go back here. Hold on. Look at the date. I want you to look at the date. Look at the date. So we're definitely in a de facto status. Now, let's see what the democracy is talking about. Let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get it for you. I don't want you to get excited. Hold on. I think I went too far. Hold on. Matter of fact, I know I went too far. Let me get it. Because I don't want you to have that excuse, man, brother. This is dealing with the 14th Amendment. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. See it? United States of America congressional record. This is on the record. We ain't talking about what you're talking about. This is the actual facts on the record. Hold on. I want you to see this, though. Look at the date. Are we still in a de facto situation based on the dates? Yes, we are. Guess what this is dealing with? The 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment. Is this not what brought the IRS into existence? This is what they say. This is what they say. So we're going to deal with what they say. See that? I got a little box right there. See that? The 16th Amendment authorizes the taxation of income from whatever source derived, thus taking in investment income without apportionment, meaning equal among the several states. Stop. What? Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did not we define a few minutes ago that wages deal with your job? Did we not do this? A compensation given to a hired person for his or her services compensation of employees based on time worked or output of production. So this is talking about people who work for somebody else, people who are punching a time clock. These people are getting paid a wage. This is a compensation for their time. They are trading time for dollars. Aha. That's what a wage is. Okay. Okay. I got that. But now let's see what Congress is talking about. Congress says the 16th Amendment authorizes the taxation of income from whatever source derived, thus taking in investment income. Oh, investments without apportionment among the several states. The Supreme Court has held that the 16th Amendment did not. The Supreme Court has held that the 16th Amendment did not extend the taxing power of the United States to new or accepted subjects, but merely remove the necessity which might otherwise exist for the apportionment, meaning equal, amongst the state of taxes laid on income, whether it be derived from one source or another. Taxes on income. Income, gains, property, investments, gold, silver, the selling of that, the selling of real estate. Huh? Not wages. U.S. de facto Congress. Let's go. So the amendment made it possible to bring investment income within the scope of a general income tax law, but did not change the character of the tax. It is still fundamentally an excise or duty with respect to the privilege of carrying on any activity or owning any property which produces income. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I can do this all day. See? Do you understand? Do you understand? We covered that in part 1. Excise tax, things that you can avoid. I can avoid the excise tax on gasoline. I can opt out of that and not drive my car, thereby avoiding the excise tax on gasoline. I can avoid the excise tax on cigarettes because I can choose not to smoke. Excise means voluntary. Is the income tax form W-4 starting to make sense? Voluntary. The income tax is therefore not a tax on income as such. It is an excise tax with respect to certain activities and privileges, which is measured by reference to the income which they produce. The income is not a subject of the tax. It is the basis for determining the amount of tax. Do you see why it's voluntary? The purpose of the income tax is to raise revenue in the year of its levy. It is a method by which some of us make annual payments on the account of the governmental expenses and the public debt of all of us. What? Let's read it again. The purpose of the income tax is to raise revenue in the year of its levy. It is a method by which some of us make annual payments. It didn't say all of us, it said some of us make annual payments on account of the governmental expenses and the public debt. Let's go. Government expenses and the public debt. Oh boy. U.S. debt clock. Do I need to go over this again? Huh? Are you starting to get it? U.S. national debt, top left-hand corner, 32 trillion, 666 billion, 893 million and counting. And the last time I did this, 30 days ago, the debt per citizen, per United States citizen, was $96,000. It is now $97,468 and counting. Debt per taxpayer, $253,686. Thank you, U.S. citizens. This is what you're doing. Now, according to the United States debt clock, that is in real time, as I'm talking, it's just rolling. The United States federal tax revenue, $4,724,731 and counting. That's how much money the IRS took in terms of tax revenue. Right underneath, total state revenue, $2,272,877,000,000 and counting. Federal and state. They even got the local tax revenue up there. Everything is accounted for. See, they keep accurate records. They just don't give an accurate record to you because they don't want you to see what's really going on. So the United States Treasury just turns on the printing machine and they keep printing currency. But Prophet Noble Drew Ali told you in the warning of 1928, gold and silver and commerce belong to the citizen. Gold, silver, and commerce. They told you in the United States files bankruptcy in the congressional record. Gold and silver is the money. Federal Reserve notes are not money. So when you believe that Federal Reserve notes are money and don't understand it's debt, then you do everything financially ass backwards. Everything. Everything backwards. Let me curl your socks. Let me curl your socks. I got something for you. Because I know you're like, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Warning of 1928. I ain't never seen it. Okay, got something for you. I bet you I do have something you seen. I bet you seen something like this. I bet you seen something like this. How about this one? Ooh, our National Grand will get a kick out of this. How about this? Huh? Moorish Americans are not U.S. citizens. See, brothers and sisters, what I did, I went and made a pay stub. I made one for illustrative purposes. Because if you got a job, now I just said you were being paid wage. I just told you that. We just proved that. But according to the IRS, you're being paid income. See what it says? Moorish Americans are not U.S. citizens. Hold on. I hope you can see it. Do I need to blow it up? Huh? Do I need to click it one time? How about now? How about now? Moorish Americans are not U.S. citizens. See what it says? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in hell and the wrong jurisdiction. You're in the wrong jurisdiction. That's why you're in hell. Okay? To pay? $1,938.07. There's my name, paid to the order of. You're familiar with this, right? This isn't news to you. You see? Employee information. See? Social security number, employee's ID. See the start date, see the end date. You got a check date. See what it says? Look, it automatically came up income. It does not let you make it into wages. It automatically defaults to income, reinforcing the lie that you are being paid an income tax. I tried everything in my power to make it say regular wages. It automatically defaulted to income. So now I understand why you think you're being paid an income. It says it right on your pay stub. Let me show you something else it says on your pay stub. Everybody is familiar with this right here. See what it says? That's $30 an hour. That's the rate. $30 an hour. You work 80 hours a week. So that means this is bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. That's $2,400 every 2 weeks. Yay! See? But look at the deductions. Tell me that your paycheck don't look like this. These are the categories that are coming out your check. Federal income tax, $230.33. Social Security, $148.80. Medicare, $34.80. Arizona state tax, $48. Now, this is based on the deductions and what you told the government to withhold out of your check by filling out a W-4. One of these. You filled out one of these, okay, and you also filled out one of these. Did you not? And based on how you filled out those two forms, now we are here. Now we actually see the actual money being withheld. So now I have a question for you. Someone get out a calculator and add this up. Federal income tax. Matter of fact, let me get my calculator out so that we can deal with this in real time. So federal income tax, $230.33. Mathematics is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, and it can be proven in any limit of time. This is not my opinion. You have a paycheck and a pay stub in your pocket. Pull it out. $230.33 in federal income tax. And we're going to add to that $148.80 in Social Security. And we're going to add to that $34.80. And we're going to add to that $48 even. That brings us to $461.93. Now, I said this is bi-weekly. This is every 2 weeks. So now, in order to get it for a month, we need to multiply times 2, or we need to add $461.93 to it. So we're going to multiply times 2 equals $923.86. $923.86 coming out of your wages that you voluntarily agree to give away. No problem. So you have $923.86 voluntarily coming out of your wages. Now, I can hear some of you now. So this is 1 month. Every 30 days, you are dealing with this. So we're going to multiply this number now times 12. Okay. Now that means, wait for it, $11,086.32 is coming out your wages every year. $11,086.32 is coming out of your wages every year. And you filed a federal income tax. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Now, my question to you, I want you to show me a federal income tax return, and I'm going to let you add your state tax return with it, but I want it to equal $11,086.32. And if you can't show me a tax return equal to the money that you paid in, you didn't get out. I now want to know, where did your money go? Who got your money? Who got it and where is it? And most importantly, how come you ain't upset about that? How come you ain't protesting that? This is not my information. This is your tax return. This your pay stub. And it don't matter how much money you make. The only thing that's going to happen is the numbers are going to get bigger and bigger. But the principle is going to be the same. Where did the money go? Where is it? You can't show it to me in a tax return. You know your tax return wasn't nowhere near what they took out of your check. Where your money at? How come you big, strong brothers ain't burning the Treasury building down? How come you didn't do like quote unquote white folks and storm the Capitol building? Huh? How come you didn't do that? How come the IRS building in DC is still standing? Here's a better question. How come you still paying into a system that you can't get money out of? Explain that. Where your money go? Huh? Since you want to be a U.S. citizen so bad, since you feel like, well, I'm going to miss out on some benefits and set-asides if I don't say I'm a U.S. citizen, how we going to do this? How's it going to work? I don't know. You tell me. I'm not paying into the system. So you tell me. I tell you what's happening. There it is. I'm going to put it right back up there again. I'm going to put it right back up there again. What? What? There it is. Huh? And it's just going. It's just going. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Where's your money? But you're a U.S. citizen. This your claim to fame. Look what you're responsible for right here. Now you do understand, brother and sister, if you keep rejecting the illustrious Hebrew prophet, if you keep reading the warning of 1928 like it's a mantra, if you keep actually just reading it, but you don't carry things into practice, you do understand you still stuck right here. I need you to understand that. You cannot keep reading the warning of 1928 and just think this is a game. You who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those that know law in the city hall and among the officials in your government and ask them under intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply, for they are glad to see me bring you out of the darkness into the light. Money doesn't make the man. It is free national standards and power that make a man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce belong to the citizens alone. Gold and silver, money. We've covered this. So let's talk about it. Let's get off into it. I know somebody mad. Boy, you're gonna be hot as cayenne pepper here in just a minute when I find what I'm looking for. So you remember back there, we was talking about in the bankruptcy, the great senator was saying, hey, on the congressional record, he was saying, hey, the founding fathers, when they set this up, gold and silver is the money, not currency. It must say redeemable to the bearer in gold and silver in order for it to be lawful. See what it says? Federal Reserve Note. C note, $100. United States of America. See what it says in the left, right underneath that. See what it says? Redeemable in gold on demand. Redeemable in gold on demand at the United States Treasury or in gold or lawful money. Gold or lawful money at any federally reserved bank. Hello? Am I the only one seeing this? Will pay to the bearer on demand, $100 in gold, something tangible, something that has intrinsic value, not just paper backed by nothing. This is what the original currency looked like prior to the 1933 bankruptcy. I need you to understand, I need you to lock in with that. Do you see why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said gold and silver, money does not make the man? Gold and silver. Do you understand why they keep talking about gold and silver? That's the real money, not currency. Take the currency out of your pocket right now and see, does it have that little paragraph anywhere on it? No, it says legal tender. It says legal tender. This don't say legal tender nowhere. Look at it. Look at it, brother and sister. Take it out your pocket and look at it and read it. And most importantly, understand. Please understand. Okay? Please understand. Let me find something else for you. Hold on, I gotta find something else. Oh, no, I didn't want this. Nope, don't want none of this. Matter of fact, we done with this. We can close all that out. I gotta find what I'm looking for. I'm gonna come back here in just a minute. I need to find my little video. I hope I didn't close my little video out. So for emphasis, gold and silver was such a powerful money during the founding of the United States of America that the founding fathers declared that only gold and silver coins can be money in America. I'm gonna keep driving that point home because many of us ain't got a clue. So let me go back, let me find it. Hold on, I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So take out the currency that's in your pocket that you calling money. Remember, money is gold and silver. Take out the paper currency that you have in your pocket. It's fiat currency. Now we're going to talk about it. I wish I could magnify this too. But it says, what is a Federal Reserve note? Now, don't it say Federal Reserve note on it? Does not it say legal tender? Let's see what it is. A Federal Reserve note is a term to describe the paper demand liabilities, not assets, liabilities, not assets. Assets, real quick, put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money away from you. Assets bring money to you. Liabilities take money away from you. If you do not understand the laws of money, you will make critical errors in judgment and find yourself broke. A Federal Reserve note is a term to describe the paper demand liabilities of the Federal Reserve, commonly referred to as dollar bills. Notice that, commonly referred to as dollar bills, which circulate in the U.S. as legal tender. Look at the paper in your hand. Does not it say legal tender on it? For practical purposes, the Federal Reserve note is the monetary unit of the U.S. economy. Let's keep it moving. You're going to love where this is going. The term Federal Reserve note is often confused with the US dollar, the official unit of account of the United States. Let's go. I was going to play the video, but when I read it, it has more emphasis. Federal Reserve notes were first issued after the creation of the Federal Reserve System in 1913. Before 1971. Now, we saw this year 1971 on the W4 form. We saw 1971 on the W4T form. We saw this 1971 on the IRS website. We see this 1971 in our taxpayer affidavit. What is it about this 1971 that we need to lock in with? Before 1971, before 1971, each Federal Reserve note issue was backed by a legally specified amount of gold held in the U.S. Treasury. However, private citizens were not allowed to redeem notes for gold dollars because these notes held legal tender status and represented actual dollars. They were commonly referred to as dollar bills as they circulated through the economy. What? Federal Reserve notes were first issued after the creation of the Federal Reserve System in 1913. Before 1971, each Federal Reserve note issue was backed by a legally specified amount of gold by the U.S. Treasury. Not anymore. That's why your stuff says legal tender on it right now. Hold on. Hold on. Are you catching that? Let's continue. However, under President Nixon, the gold standard was officially abandoned, creating a full fiat currency. That's what you got in your pocket right now. However, under President Nixon, the same president that wrote Executive Order 11490, the King Alfred Plan, hello? Under this tricky dick, the gold standard was officially abandoned, creating a full fiat currency where the Federal Reserve notes themselves are the sole circulating legal tender, along with small base metal coins, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, etc. Today, Federal Reserve notes circulate as money throughout the U.S. and the rest of the world, wherever dollar-dominated transactions take place. These notes are still commonly referred to as dollars, which was previously legally defined quantity of gold or silver, but is now simply the official unit of account for the U.S. legal tender, including Federal Reserve notes. The U.S. Treasury prints the Federal Reserve notes at the instruction of the Board of Governors and the 12 Federal Reserve member banks. These banks also act as the clearinghouse for local banks that need to increase or reduce their supply of cash on hand. Once new Federal Reserve notes are issued, they become a liability of the Federal Reserve, which can be redeemed by bearers on demand for different Federal Reserve notes. Meaning, the more they print the paper dollars, the more they print it, the more inflation is increased. The more they print it, the more national debt is increased. The more they print it, the less purchasing power it has. The more they print it, it means that now it takes more paper to produce goods and services than it did 5 minutes ago, last week, last month, last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So what you could have purchased in 1972 in terms of a house was $30,000. You would have had you a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a driveway, front yard, and backyard. That was $30,000 in 1972 in Miami, Florida. Now, that same exact house that I grew up in is now $300,000. It's the same house. It looks like crap, but it is the same exact house, and now it's $300,000 if you want to purchase. $300,000 on the same street, on the same block, in the same neighborhood. Why is it more expensive today than it was yesterday? Well, number one, because this machine that's running on your screen, the U.S. Treasury just keep cranking out paper, which is increasing and is causing inflation, which is a hidden tax. So goods and services now cost more money. Every minute that goes by, it costs more money. The only thing that's not going up is your wages. Hello? The only thing that is not going up is your wages. You understand? And here's the thing that really upsets me about many of us. I'm sitting here literally demonstrating this to you, and yet some of you still sitting there trembling. Yet you have a pay stub in your pocket right now. You paying into the system right here. You can't, don't argue. Don't argue, you paying into it. You paying into it. Nah, brother. See, I'm an independent contractor. I got a form 1099, but at the end of the year, you still paying into the tax. What do you think, I'm stupid? I know how this works. You still paying into it. And if you don't pay into it because of your status, guess what? That's called tax evasion. They coming to get you. They sending you a correspondence. This is what you owe in back taxes plus penalties. Oh my God. Ring, ring, National Grid. National Grid. They saying I owe back taxes. They don't have no jurisdiction. Ring, National Grid. They say I owe back child support. I can't pay all this. National Grid. They putting penalties and fines. Oh my God, what can we do? Let me get that non-tax affidavit. Let me get that. Send it to me ASAP. You run down to the notary real quick, signing in blue ink in front of the notary. You send it to the IRS. And then the IRS send you back a correspondence. According to our records, you still a United States citizen. What? Oh. I put my paperwork on the record. But now it's time to show and prove that the paperwork is on the record. And when it was put on the record. And under what circumstance was it put on the record? And then the IRS come back like this. Well, I'm glad you changed jurisdictions. Yep, but you changed jurisdictions on this date. The tax liability was prior to that. Oh, what you gonna do now? You have no idea how to demonstrate that because you don't believe in what we got. You don't even know how to talk to these people. You don't even know what to do because you didn't follow my lawful process. No, you jumped out there in front. You didn't follow my lawful process. They ain't talking to me. You see, but I don't want you to get mad. I want you to understand. See what it says? See what the screen says? Both my being Moorish and American. Notice when you see the word and, it means what is before and what is after go together. Both my being Moorish and American is permanent. Wong Kim versus the United States. The United States will be the corporate entity, right? I must answer and apply to both governments of law. Now, if it wasn't both governments, this wouldn't even make sense. I, meaning you, Moorish American, must answer and apply to both governments of law. The United States of America, which Prophet Noble Drew Ali set up with his religious affidavit, okay, August the 1st, 1928 at 2:52 p.m., establishing a body politic incorporate with the Heard Smith revised statutes. Remember that? I must answer and apply to both governments of law, the United States of America in Congress assembled and the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, number 13. See how this work? See how this work? But your paperwork got to be lined up thus and so that you can apply. So let's get at it. I don't want to leave it alone. I don't want to leave it alone because y'all just think I'm out here just talking. I know what I'm talking about. Let me get at it. Hold on. Let me get at it. Let me find it. Just so you think I ain't lost my mind. Hold on. I got to find this. Hold on. Where's my prophet makes plea to the nation? Hold on. We're going to come back there. Here we go. Bang. Prophet makes plea to the nation. Remember, our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. It is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know that all true American citizens are identified by national descent name to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. Stop right there. Stop right there. Hold on. I'm going to drive it down your throat. Because many of you can't talk like this because you don't believe in what you got, because you don't study what the prophet wrote. So you trembling when they knock on your door. Let me find it. Bang. Both my being Moorish and American is permanent. Why is it permanent? Because of jus sequentis and jus sole. We are the inhabitants, permanent occupants of the land called America, north, South, Central, and the surrounding islands. We are the verified American citizens. We are the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. It's us. Both my being Moorish and American is permanent. I must answer and apply to both governments of law. The United States of America, stop, take your nationality card out, flip it over, and what does Prophet Noble Drew Ali say? I am a citizen of the U period, S period, A period. United States of America, the Republic, Article 4, Section 4 of the Free National Constitution. All states shall be governed by a republican form of government, not a democracy. I need you to lock in with this. Lock in. Things that are deemed treason in a republic are oftentimes legal in a democracy. That ain't my saying. That's Brother Jalil Bey's saying. Things that are deemed treason in a republic, you know, like the Moorish American National Republic, are oftentimes legal in a democracy. Oh, you mean like the United States? Let's continue. The ideal prevails with some. Indeed, it has expression in arguments at the bar. We have in this country substantially two national governments. Two national governments. One to be maintained under the Constitution. That would be the Free National Constitution that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is talking about, with all of its restrictions. The other to be maintained by Congress outside and independently of that instrument. So you must decide today, which one of these nations are you going to be a part of? Which government are you going to be a citizen of? Which set of laws are you going to be governed by? Who are you going to apply to? Which government? The only way you're going to apply to the Free National Constitution and the Free National Government is you must now naturalize, the process by which one acquires nationality after birth and becomes entitled to the privileges of citizenship. Why must you naturalize? Because your nationality was stripped in 1774 at the First Continental Convention. And we accepted the names and the brands of Negro, Black, Colored, Ethiopian, and today African American in 1779. That's why. This is a matter of law. This ain't about how you feel. This ain't about what you heard. This is a matter of law. And the reason you can't stand up on it like I stand up on it is because you don't study it. You don't talk about it. You trying to find some convenient way to get out when all you got to do is apply what is being taught in our school of law and history. Apply it to the quote unquote white folks in your jurisdiction. And they will leave you alone, but you have to demonstrate it. That's where you fall it off. And you can't demonstrate what you don't know, and you can't demonstrate what you don't believe in. You don't have no confidence in it. So therefore, it does not and will not work for you. That's why your paperwork is sitting on the shelf. I keep my paperwork with me at all times. I don't care if I go to the grocery store. My paperwork is with me, I promise you. I go to the gas station. My paperwork is with me. I never leave home without all of my paperwork. If you look at the PowerPoint demonstration, the paperwork process on the Moorish Experience, that entire PowerPoint is with me at all times on paper. At all times, in all circumstances. I never leave home without it. I have several copies of it. My parents have a copy. I have a few copies. I have copies locked up in other places. I have copies in other places that are outside of the physical jurisdiction of the United States. I always have it with me. I can always get access to it. It has all the court orders in it. It has all of our paperwork in it. It has all my social security. Everything is in it. All 109 pages. It has our vaccination paperwork in it. It directs doctors and nurses and medical assistants and whoever in the healthcare industry what they will, and more importantly, what they will not do. I do not need any more Moorish American to speak for me. The paperwork does all the talking. 24/7. That is why I sound as bold as I do. When I travel and roll into Baltimore, not only do I have the paperwork on my presence, on my person, physically, but I also have it electronically. So anywhere at any time, I can plug it into anybody's device and demonstrate with all of the tangibility that you've been looking at for the last 6 years. Yep, that's how I roll. And I'm going to continue to roll that way. The question is, what about you? That's the question. So now that we done established that, hopefully you're getting something out of this, because I know I am. I'm getting excited, so that means it's time to shut it down. It's time to shut it down. So once again, both my being Moorish and American is permanent. I must answer and apply to both governments. Well, how are you going to apply? You are going to naturalize according to the Free National Constitution, the first 7 articles of the original Constitution. That process by which one acquires nationality after birth and becomes entitled to the privileges of citizenship. So we're going to apply to both governments of law. The United States of America, not the United States, the United States of America. That's the Republic. In Congress assembled and the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, number 13. I'm not going further into this document today. No. So here, paying into the system, paying taxes, you can't show me a tax return that equals what you paid in. How come you can't get out what you paid in? And more importantly, where did your money go? 16th Amendment by the United States Congress ruled is unconstitutional, did not extend any new taxation powers. So who is the IRS? Who is the Internal Revenue Service? They're operating under military. They just intimidate you. They're under military force. They just intimidate you. That's why they come with guns. But one thing they can't come with is truth. That's what I want them to come with. We already covered the lawful definition of income and wages. I'm not going back over that. It says representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, which may be included within this union. Oh, so they talking about a union. Free National Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. Representatives of direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, which may be included within this union. What? Are you serious? So again, what is the IRS? Congress hasn't inferred any new taxation power, period. Don't take my word for it. The 16th Amendment authorizes the taxation of income from whatever source derived, thus taking in investment income without apportionment among the several states. The Supreme Court has held that the 16th Amendment did not extend the taxation power of the United States. So what is the IRS again? What is it? It's a corporate entity that you constantly keep contracting with because you don't want to read documentation and fill out paperwork accordingly. Gold and silver was such a powerful money during the founding of the United States of America that the founding fathers, 35 Moorish chieftains, and 20 Anglo-Saxons declared that only gold and silver coin can be money in America. Now, let's get back at it. Hold on. Demonstration time. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is 1 ounce of gold. This is money. This is the only money. Period. Gold. 1 ounce. Gold. Look at it. Flip it over. Flip it over. 1 ounce of gold. Let me get it close to the camera so you can see it's real. 1 ounce of gold. 1 ounce of gold. All of that currency in your pocket is supposed to be backed by this. All of it. It is not. 1 ounce of gold. This is money. When you go to a job, they give you a paycheck. When you go to the bank and you cash it out, you get currency, not money. This is money. 1 ounce of gold. Deputy Sheik, if I say it, damn it, I do it. 1 ounce of gold. Hold on, we ain't done. 2 ounces of gold. Let's go. This is what I do with currency. I trade it in for something tangible, something intrinsic. Money does not make demand. The gold and silver and commerce of all nations, that's where the wealth is. Gold, 1 ounce, 2 ounces. Wait. Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't stop at gold. He said silver. Huh? Silver. You feel me? Gold and silver. According to the Free National Constitution and the founding fathers, 35 Moorish chieftains and 20 Anglo-Saxons, they said, this is the only money. I can do this all day. Hold on. We ain't done. Hold on. Let me get back at it. Let me get something else that gonna mess you up. Let me get to it. Let me find this. Hold on. Where my website at? Since I'm on this point. Hold on. Hold it. I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. I know I got it up here. Because I want you to understand this point. And I know it's some brother and sister out here right now. Brother showing out. No, I ain't showing out. I'm showing you what's real. I'm showing you what's real. This ain't about me. Boom. Let's go here. Let's go here. See what it says? See what it says? APMEX, investments you hold. Investment. Do you see the silver spot price? This is real all over the planet. Every nation state on this planet deals with the spot price of gold, silver, platinum, precious metals in real time. You see what the spot price of silver is right now? Do you see what it is? So it takes $24 currency in your pocket and 57 cents to buy and purchase one of these. $24.57. That's why I ain't got none, brother. You telling me you can't afford $24.57? Liar. You spend more than that on your swishers, You spend more than that on your weed. Huh? You spend more than that on your cigarettes. You spend more than that on your alcohol. You spend more than that at the club. Sisters, you spend more than that on your weave. You spend more than that on your nails. See? 1 ounce of gold, right now, $1,973. $1,973.20. 1 ounce of gold. That's how much currency you must bring to the table to pick up one of these. $1,973.20. Real money. I can do this all day. This is why I don't talk to many of us. Because you are engaged in madness and you ain't even trying to build yourself a lifeboat. You ain't even trying. Now, brother and sister, this is not stopping. They're going to keep printing more and more currency. And the more they print, the higher inflation is going to be, which means the less purchasing power the US dollar actually has, which means it will take more dollars to purchase goods and services. Now, for those of you who think I have lost my mind, you're like, that brother spent $1,900 ounce of silver, man. I can't eat no gold. I can't eat no silver, man. You should have took that money, put it in your car. Should have took that money, put it in your gas tank. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But see, the problem, what you don't understand, is when I purchased those 2 particular ounces of gold, they were only $1,400 an ounce. So because these demons like to print currency, you see it running. Since they like to print currency, you see what's happening? It now costs more to buy intangible or tangible assets. So I'm just watching the dollar shrink in value. I'm just watching it shrink. So wouldn't you like to have bought an ounce of gold at $35 in 1972? $35. $35. Today, I just went over the price, $1,900. Now you understand why the wealthy stay wealthy? Because they take the currency and they put it into tangible assets. That's how. This is real talk. Now, hopefully, we answered and gave you some more tangibility, explanation, understanding, hopefully, than what you had when you first started watching this. I think I done covered everything I wanted to cover. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much in detail. I've been talking long enough. Okay. Okay, I've been talking long enough. So now, it is what it is, brother and sister. Ain't no sense of you getting all excited and get your lips all stuck out with me, thinking that I'm out here showing out. No, I'm showing you what I'm physically doing. That way you'll understand you could do it too. But hey, it's up to you whether you will or not. I don't know personally. Okay. It would be good for you if you did. But if you don't, it's okay with me because they're not messing with me. And I will continue to do what I'm doing. Oh, and by the way, for y'all to say, well, I can't eat gold and silver, you're absolutely correct. I also store up food in my houses. Another little man that wore fez said, you should have at least 3 to 6 months of food stored up in your house. I have that as well. Because I don't know how this hyperinflation thing is going to play out. So yeah, I have gold and silver. I have food stored up in my house. I have a built-in burglar alarm. That's why I don't associate with people, because I don't want you to know where I'm at. I don't want to be around you, because people who are afraid become desperate. People who do not plan become desperate. You understand? And I don't care what I say. You may not want to apply the policy of freedom to yourself, but you will remember what I say when you get hungry. Oh, you're gonna remember what I say when you get hungry. That's why I don't hang out with you. I don't tell you where I live. I don't tell you, because I don't want you bothering me. I put things in place to trip you up if you even try to get next to me. And very soon from now, I'm telling you in the public, very soon, my phone will actually be off. Period. I will not be communicating with nobody, because we have now entered a time, as I said in my last demonstration, we have now entered a time of utter darkness. Praise be to Allah for the life of student minister Jabril Muhammad. Our beautiful brother made his transition. Allah called him in, week and a half ago. Boy, let me tell you, if you know what I know, we are at the end, brother. We are at the end. That was a major light that just went out. Minister Farrakhan still here. He won't be here too much longer. He won't be here too much. I'm saying it on the record. He will not be here too much longer. He gonna be here, but not the way you carrying on, not the way you thinking. You gonna have to go with what you know, brother and sister. And let me throw somebody else in the ring. Our national grand sheik ain't gonna be here too much longer. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Moorish American? What you gonna do when he make his transition? You ain't internalized none of the principles. Who you gonna get to write them letters? Who you gonna get to get on a phone and demonstrate to these demons? Because I saw his demonstration about your situation. Interesting. Who you gonna get to summarize them town halls? Who has the tangibility to send to the de facto government when they messing with one of our quote unquote citizens? Who gonna do that? Who you gonna call? I promise you, my phone will be off. It's gonna sound like this. Doo-doo-doo. This number has been changed or disconnected. Because you're not gonna bombard me with a whole bunch of nonsense, because I put the tangibility and the explanation in front of you for the world to see. It is up to you now to carry it into practice. With that, may Allah bless you with the light of understanding. I greet you as I came. Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace, peace, peace.